Have you ever met someone who barely speaks, yet somehow seems to notice everything? While everyone else is talking, laughing, and sharing, they stay silent, and yet, their presence feels heavier, almost magnetic. What are they thinking? What are they noticing that the rest of us miss? Today, we're diving into the fascinating psychology of people who don't talk too much, and why their silence is far more powerful than you imagine. People who don't talk much often operate in a world that seems invisible to others, yet their awareness of that world is astonishingly sharp. While others speak and react almost reflexively, quiet individuals tend to observe before they respond. Their silence is not a gap in understanding, rather, it is a deliberate strategy that allows them to absorb far more than those who speak constantly. Every conversation, every subtle change in expression, every tonal shift is noted and analyzed. They notice the things others overlook, the micro-expressions that betray hidden emotions, the pauses that hint at unspoken thoughts, or the body language that communicates far more than words ever could. Their mind constantly gathers these details, creating a rich internal map of social interactions and dynamics. This heightened observation is coupled with deep internal processing. Unlike those who think out loud, quiet people process information internally, weighing possibilities and outcomes before they choose to act or speak. This internal reflection allows them to understand situations with nuance and accuracy. They can anticipate reactions, foresee consequences, and consider multiple perspectives simultaneously. In a group discussion, for example, they may appear passive or disengaged, but internally they are analyzing arguments, evaluating credibility, and noting inconsistencies. Their seeming silence is a product of careful deliberation, not disinterest. Because of this internal processing, people who talk less often develop an intuitive understanding of others. They become attuned to emotional undercurrents and motivations, even when they are not explicitly expressed. This makes them excellent judges of character, capable of understanding intentions and anticipating behavior without needing to ask questions. Their insight is not loud or obvious, but it is profound, and it often manifests in subtle ways: a well-timed suggestion, a thoughtful response, or an ability to mediate conflicts effectively. Moreover, their quietness fosters empathy. Observing before speaking allows them to fully consider the feelings and perspectives of others. They do not rush to give advice or share opinions; instead, they internalize what they see and feel, creating a mental space where understanding can grow. This often makes their interactions more meaningful, because when they do choose to speak, their words carry the weight of reflection and insight. In essence, people who don't talk much have a cognitive and emotional depth that is easy to overlook. Their quiet nature is not a limitation, it is a strength. Through careful observation and deep internal processing, they develop a profound understanding of the world and the people around them, often seeing connections and details that others miss. Their silence is a lens through which they perceive life more clearly, demonstrating that sometimes the most insightful minds are the ones that speak the least. Silence is often misunderstood in social settings. When someone chooses not to speak as much, others may quickly assume that they are shy, insecure, or lacking confidence. However, in reality, silence can be a deliberate and powerful expression of emotional regulation and thoughtful communication. People who speak less often have the ability to control their impulses, observing situations before responding and resisting the urge to react immediately. This emotional regulation allows them to maintain composure even in tense or challenging circumstances. Instead of reacting to every stimulus or emotion, they pause, reflect, and respond with intention. In this way, their silence is not emptiness, it is a sign of psychological maturity and self-control. Thoughtfulness is another key characteristic that often accompanies quietness. When a person does not feel the need to fill every space with words, it allows them the opportunity to consider the consequences of their speech. They evaluate what to say, how to say it, and when to say it, ensuring that their words carry meaning and purpose. This thoughtfulness extends beyond conversation, it reflects a mindset that values understanding and clarity over superficial expression. By taking the time to process their thoughts internally, quiet individuals often develop deeper insights and perspectives than those who react impulsively or speak without reflection. Their silence becomes a canvas for careful consideration, giving weight and depth to the moments when they do choose to communicate. Selective communication is closely tied to this thoughtfulness. People who talk less often understand that words are tools, not just background noise. They use speech strategically, sharing only what is necessary, meaningful, or impactful. This selectivity does not indicate fear or inability to communicate, rather, it demonstrates respect for the power of language and for the attention of those around them. By speaking less frequently, they ensure that their words are noticed, heard, and taken seriously. This approach also encourages others to listen more attentively, creating an atmosphere where meaningful dialogue is prioritized over constant chatter. It is also important to recognize that silence can coexist with confidence. Choosing not to speak at every opportunity does not reflect insecurity, it can reflect a secure sense of self. Quiet individuals do not feel compelled to prove their intelligence, relevance, or social presence through constant verbal expression. They are comfortable observing, reflecting, and engaging on their own terms. This ability to regulate emotions, think deeply, and communicate selectively makes their presence significant even when words are few. In essence, silence is far from weakness. It is a manifestation of emotional intelligence, careful reflection, and deliberate communication. Those who speak less often demonstrate an ability to manage themselves and their interactions thoughtfully, reminding us that meaningful expression is not measured by volume but by the depth and intention behind each word.